It's been a week since the Fujifilm X100 came into my life, and I thought I would check in with you and let you know how it's been going. And that looks a little different now, doesn't it? Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel where I chat about all things photography, vlogging, video, you name it. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm so excited to see you back here. So yes, let's get into the Fujifilm X100V, my new buddy. We've had a week to spend some time together, and I've got some excellent news to report. I am in love with this camera, you guys. It is everything and so much more, let me tell you. First, let's talk about why I purchased this camera. I purchased it with street photography in mind. I am very new to street photography, and I'm looking to, hone my skills, get out there more, and take photos every day. And my main photography camera is a Canon 6D Mark II, but because that is a full-frame DSLR, it is a little on the heavy side. So I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a tiny person. Because of that, I am not so inclined to take that with me whenever I leave the house. I really just wanted a camera that I could take with me wherever, no fuss, and just have great images right out of the can, and this little guy ticked all the boxes, and I've just had a blast playing around with it this past week. So let's get into what I really love about this camera. It goes without saying, this is a very, very compact camera. It's thin, it's lightweight, it has a fixed lens. It's a 28mm, but since it is a crop sensor, an APS-C, this is equivalent to a 35mm. My personal opinion, 35mm is the sweet spot between wide and long focal lengths. And yeah, this is it. I mean, it's on there. I'm one of those people that like to have decisions already made. For example, I pretty much eat the same thing every single day for breakfast and for lunch. I mix things up a little bit more for dinner. Work, life, running a small business from home, it's a lot on my plate, and the less decisions that I have to make, the better. The more I can get through my day and just, be more efficient. The same thing applies, I think, or should apply to photography, especially if the end goal is to become a better photographer. I know when I pick this camera up and get out, the decision has already been made. I'm going to be shooting 35mm. There's no question. I have no choice but to get to know this camera inside and out. But as I mentioned in my last episode, Fujifilm does offer wide and telephoto lens adapters if I want to mix things up down the road. And then also, while the lens is fixed, it does accept filters. So I can screw on any kind of filter I want, be it a neutral density filter, polarizer. Also, I did purchase one of these lens hoods because when I do carry it on my person when I leave the house, I don't like to leave the lens cap on my camera, because if I'm walking outside and I see something that catches my eye, I want to be able to just pick up my camera and get the shot, as opposed to fiddling with taking off the lens cap, turning my camera on. So yes, I did purchase this nifty little lens hood that screws right onto the lens, so I don't have to worry about my lens getting scratched while I'm out and about. The other nifty feature is the tilty screen, which tilts out and up and then down. So it makes getting awkward angles a little more achievable, and making sure you're framed up if you want to get a high shot or a low shot. You can shoot strangers inconspicuously. It's really handy for that. However, as a hybrid shooter, as someone who likes to shoot photos and video, I find this a little hindering, so to speak. I wish it was fully articulating. I mean, if I had a guess, if I held out just a little bit longer, I'm pretty sure the next incarnation of this camera will have a fully articulating screen. Anyway, this is still a great feature and definitely one of the least offenses of this camera. Let's talk about image quality. It is chef's kiss, so good. And something that I'm still exploring are the film simulations. These film simulations have looks, or I want to say kind of the equivalent of a LUT baked into their system, so you can just go out, shoot JPEGs willy-nilly and not have to worry about color correcting, color grading. They're just gonna look great out of the can. And there is a blog that has a plethora of other recipes that you can manually plug into this camera, which is awesome. So I'm still still exploring those, but it's really nice to know that there is a website out there that has all these amazing film simulations that you can plug and play. And I've actually been shooting both JPEG and RAW because I'm one of those photographers that do like a bit of full control over my final image. But when I do go out, it's nice to know that if I do take a photo that's just a casual shot that I don't plan on putting on the interwebs, I can just, you know, save it as a JPEG and print it out in a photo book later. I will insert some photos here that I've taken, and I have to say I've really been enjoying going on photo walks. This guy has been getting me out of the house and taking photos, and I am having so much fun. I've just been trying to get more and more aware of my surroundings, paying attention, forming compositions or looking for compositions whenever I go on a walk, and you know, I feel like it's paying off. And I don't go out feeling like I have to come back with something. I go out because A, I'm getting out for a walk, B, it's practice, C, you know, I come back with whatever I come back with, and you know, if I come back with one photo, great. It doesn't have to be a banger. At the end of the day, I'm just happy that I'm getting out and taking my camera with me, and yeah, I'm loving it. So very, very pleased with my purchase. Now, I've only had 1 week with this camera, so I know I still have a lot to learn about it, take it through its paces and see all the wonderful things that it can do. I still want to see how it performs as a video camera, because on paper, this is a very capable camera. It records 4K, slow-mo. It sounds like it's a noisy cricket of sorts.
Noisy cricket.
I am curious to see how this holds up as a portrait camera. Fun fact, when I'm not playing around with cameras, I am a crafter. Yes, my friends, I love to knit. And yes, I did knit my sweater. But anyway, when I finish a project, I like to take photos of them and put them on the web and show people what I made. So while I primarily use my Canon as a portrait camera, I am curious to see how the Fujifilm X100V holds up as a portrait camera as well. In the meantime, I had a crazy idea, actually not my crazy idea. So do any of you guys follow Valerie Jardin? She's also a pretty well-known street photographer. She does a lot of photography courses in France, but she also uses a Fujifilm camera for most of her photography, actually primarily a Fujifilm camera. And what she likes to do sometimes if she's feeling uninspired, she will pop a Lensbaby onto her. I believe she has an XT. Again, I'm new to this, guys. Long story short, while I was listening to her podcast, she mentioned that when she's feeling uninspired, she likes to pop a Lensbaby onto her Fuji camera and just go out and take some trippy photos. And I thought, oh, I have I have a Lensbaby Sol 45 for my Canon. All I've got to do is get a lens adapter and pop it on my Fuji, and I'll be ready to roll. It turns out that X mounts are different from the X in X100V. I can hear you guys laughing your asses off on the other side of the camera. So yes, go ahead, I'll wait. Anyway, I ordered one of those mounts from Amazon. It wasn't too expensive. It was just a Canon EOS to a Fuji X mount lens adapter. And I quickly learned that that mount wouldn't work with my Fuji X100V. So that has gone back. Even if I did have the Fuji mount, again, the mount would be for an X mount Fuji camera. So that's a lost cause. But my friends, I do happen to have the Lensbaby Omni filter system kit, which if you're not familiar, it comes in this little case and it's this contraption here, which again, this is for pure fun and artistry and when you just want to go a little crazy with the photography. This is a magnetic plate that mounts onto your camera lens, and the kit actually comes with a variety of filter rings that can adapt to whatever lens size that you have. While the Fujifilm X100V does take filters, the kit did not have the right size for this particular lens filter thread. I do happen to have step-up rings, so I stacked all of the filter rings until I got down to the Fuji 49mm thread. It looks nuts, but it actually works. So you just screw it onto the Fuji filter thread. It distorts what your lens sees, basically. So it has this kind of rainbowy reflector thingamabob here and this seahorse shaped crystal. And it comes with these magnetic articulating arms, so you can get really, really creative and crazy with what your lens is seeing. This type of thing works the best on a sunny, bright day because it captures all the reflections and creates rainbows. It's really fun. I just rigged this up last night and I haven't really had time to play with it, but I'm just so excited that I got it to work. So I'm gonna have some fun this weekend and report back to you next week and let you know how it's going. But yeah, this just made me so happy. Last night I did manage to get a shot shot of my cat Bella, who I will pop in here. And it's very subtle. I didn't go too crazy with the reflections, but you can see that there's this subtle kind of reflective glow happening around her. I'm just so excited to have this camera in my life, and if you are in the market for a compact camera with a fixed lens that does amazing things, yeah, highly recommend. So I am gonna leave it there. Thank you so much as always for hanging out with me, and if you are new here and haven't already, please feel free to like and subscribe down below. Again, I put out a video for your viewing pleasure every week, and until the next video, bye!